Hey, Ollie here. Scale tip number 4. If I can get my iPad to work properly. Cool. So, upped the production quality slightly today. Got a gimbal and also a lav mic. Don't know if you can see that. Straight into the iPhone. And today, I wanted to talk about scaling your business. What are the best ways to do it? Well, there's actually only 3 ways to increase your revenue. Right? Just 3 ways to do this. Number 1 is to get more sales, or in other words, get more customers, right? So this is usually the one everyone goes for, right? How can I get more customers? How can I get more leads? More, right? This is usually most business owners' natural urge when they're looking to scale. Way number 2 is to increase your prices, right? So say you're doing $1 million a year and you want to do $2 million a year. Well, if you double your prices, it will happen, right? If people still buy the product at the same price, then it can be as simple as that. And, if people keep saying that your product's too cheap or customers don't hesitate at all and they buy really quickly, might be time to increase your prices and see what happens. Like even a 20% increase across the board could give you a 20% increase in your business. Method number 3 is to get the same customers just to buy more often, right? So if you're selling $1 million a year worth of stuff, $500 per sale, right? Get the customers to buy 2 things, you've instantly doubled your business. So these are the 3 ways. Now, on paper, this is really simple, right? You just do one of these 3 things, your business grows. But when it comes to actually implementing it, right, it can be a little bit tricky. For some reason today, getting the angle of the camera is kind of confusing me, so I'm trying to figure it out. But let's dive into this, right? So, how do you use one of these 3 or all of these 3 methods to grow your business? Well, most people, me included, when this is how you scale, think that, right, I have to build something new in order to grow, right? Whether it's a new funnel, whether it's a new product, whether it's some new shiny tool or tactical software that's going to enable you to grow, and you want to create a problem to solve. That's the entrepreneurial mind, right? It's like, if I have something to fix, then I will be busy and therefore I feel good about myself because I'm doing something, right? So you go ahead and you build a new funnel, implement a new strategy, and it takes forever, and it quite often doesn't result in much growth, right? But there's a much easier way to actually implement one of these 3 ways to scale in your business. Let me sort out this angle. There we go. So this is the truth. Most business owners are currently starving some of the buyers in their audience, right? That's the truth. They're starving some of the buyers in your audience. So think about your audience for a while, right? There's a whole range of different people who want to buy different things in your audience, right? And you want to buy different things at different times as well. So for example, like throughout the past few years, I've spent over 6 figures on education, right? On products, on coaching programs, on books, on videos, events, you name it. I've spent hundreds of thousands on it. And I know that if I just implement one thing from a course or from a book or from an event, it will pay off tenfold, and it has done, right? But this is the thing you need to understand. Not at every point, let me get this angle sorted, there we go. Not at every point was I willing to buy every type of product or service that was available, right? Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to join a $20,000 coaching program. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to get a book. Sometimes I don't want to get a course, right? Sometimes I do, right? And what I want to buy kind of changes based on my mood, based on what I think would really help me at that particular moment, and based on what I have. Like if I'm already in a $20,000 coaching program, I don't want to join 2 at once, for example. So here's the thing. You're probably the same, right? You probably go through these phases of different things that you're in the market for, and so do your audience. So if you think about your audience right now, say there's 1,000 people in there. 20 of those 1,000 people, or maybe 30, I don't know the exact number, are probably ready right now to buy a really high ticket thing from you, right? Whether it's a $5,000 thing, a $10,000 thing, a $25,000 thing. Like if you just met them and had a chat with them and said, hey, I've got a mastermind or a coaching program, 20 grand for the year. Do you want to sign up? They wouldn't hesitate. They would jump in. They go, yes, this is incredible. This is exactly what I want. I want a high ticket thing. I want all the support and the help from you personally. And I want to join today. Right? They're ready to go. Then there's probably, say 1,000. There's probably about 100 people in that audience of 1,000 who would buy a course today. Right? Maybe a $500 to maybe a $2,000 course. They're thinking, yeah, I don't really want to join coaching right now, maybe in the future, but right now I just want to get like a bunch of videos to tell me what to do so I can implement it by myself, right? They're ready to go with some kind of course. And then there's probably another 400 out of that 1,000 people who would buy a very cheap thing, whether it's a book or whether it's a very cheap, like $97 product or a $200 product or, you know, a $10 product that just gives them a snippet of information or a good in-depth guide about one specific thing, like a taster of what you can really offer. So many business owners have one thing that's working really well for them at the moment, right? So it could be a coaching program, and that's the big thing that you offer. It's this coaching program. And you just do everything you can to get people into the coaching program. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's good to be focusing on one thing for a certain amount of time to, you know, build the funnel, build the lead generation system, and make the program really, really good, right? So it actually benefits people. But the thing is, if you're only focusing on one thing and only selling to one type of customer, there's probably loads of people in your audience who are desperate to buy a different type of product. The only reason they haven't is because you haven't offered it yet, right? So in some cases, all you have to do is offer a different type of thing to your audience, and all of a sudden, you activate more buyers and you get more customers. In some cases, if you haven't offered the high ticket thing, then you're able to charge more and you get more sales from each customer, because if someone's bought a course, then they might end up buying a coaching program as well, right? So have a think about this. Think about some of the buyers in your audience that you're starving right now. They're desperate to buy something and you haven't offered it. One of the really powerful things about offering like a $7 product or a $10 product is that it activates buyers. Like right now in your audience, there's a ton of people who will never buy anything, no matter what you do. You could offer them a product that's 50 cents and they will not buy it. They're just not buyers. Right, they just want to get free stuff. And that's cool, because those people will probably tell other people about you, and those other people will be buyers, right? So we need those people. But there's a load of people who are buyers, and they will buy things if they're in the mood to buy that thing at that particular time. So very, very cheap products, $10, $50, $100, $200, they activate buyers, right? So maybe you could get like a lead magnet or something that you have, and maybe spruce it up a little bit, make it better, add some stuff to it, make it worth maybe $300 or something, and charge $10 for it. So it's a real steal. You could do some upsells or something, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Offer it to your list, offer it to your audience. What will happen is you'll probably get, you know, a couple hundred sales of this thing, and you might think, oh, well, great, you know, I made like, whatever, $1,000 from this. You know, big whoop. But it's not about the money. It's about activating these buyers, and what happens is when someone buys one thing from you, all of a sudden, the trust barrier has been obliterated. You know, you delivered on the promise, they bought something, they got value, and they made the decision. Now, it's exactly the same decision, it's an extension of that decision now for them to go and buy something really expensive of you. Right? I've had people spend $7 on my cheapest product in my business. And because that product over-delivered and it was so good, they went ahead and joined a $15,000 coaching program, right? Because of the $7 product. So, think about it. What buyers in your audience are you starving, right? If you're just selling high-ticket coaching right now, is there a really simple way you could just throw together some videos, you know, in a coherent way, and offer some kind of cheaper course to activate the 100 people who will spend $1,000 in your audience, right? Could you sell something really, really low ticket, really, really tiny, just to activate the buyers and get them on the buying process with you? Are you only selling courses or really cheap products and you don't have something for the people who want coaching? Maybe you could offer something for 20 grand and you know, if 2 people grab that, all of a sudden you have your best month yet. A few things to consider. When I realized this, that there's many different types of buyers in my audience, all of a sudden my business started to completely explode. And that's when I started to do 6-figure months instead of 6 figures a year. So if you want to join a ton of other coaches, consultants, online course creators, other entrepreneurs who are looking to scale, and you want to get even more help and just join a community, then join my Facebook group. It's called Scale Online Course Creators, Coaches and Consultants. Get to 7 figures. So there is a link in the comments below this video where you can join the group. I'll be in there. I'll welcome you in. If you enter your email, I'll even give you one of my best trainings as a thank you for jumping in, and it teaches you how to grow your business with non-linear coaching, something I've used to work with hundreds of clients at once. I'll give you that training for free. All right, thanks so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow for scale tip number 5.